Hey everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how I made these 6 Dollar Tree Farmhouse DIYs. They're pretty spring inspired because I did use a lot of flowers, and some of these are actually projects that I did a couple years ago, but my channel was so small at the time that not a whole lot of people got to see them, so I thought I would do a couple of repeats and just show you guys how I made those. And then the other ones are some of my new ones, and they are some of my favorites. So for this first one, I am going to be making little flower pots, and I actually made these either last year or the year before for Mother's Day. So these flowers and garden little tins are from Dollar Tree, and so are the flowers, and the little blocks that go into the container, those are also from Dollar Tree as well, and then the Spanish moss. So the first thing I did was just put the little blocks into the tin. I didn't glue them in or anything, I just kind of set them in there. And then you're going to want to take all of the flowers apart and I use my wire cutters and cut them off. And then you're just going to stick them into the little blocks, however you like how they look. And then you're going to go ahead and take the Spanish moss and just fill that on top. And you just need a little bit because once you put it in there, it looks like it's filled with the moss. So a little bit goes a long way. And this stuff can get super messy. I found that it got a little easier when I just cut it. And then I went ahead and repeated it for the other two. So just pick out whatever flowers you like. I think I used like 3 bundles per tin. And you're just going to put that same Spanish moss in there. And that was it for these 3. And then for this next one, it's very similar to the one we just did, but it's a little different variation. So for this one, I picked up some of the roses from Dollar Tree, and this block, I believe I got this one from Hobby Lobby. And then you're also going to need some wire cutters, and then of course, whatever you want to put the flowers in, and the Spanish moss. So I found this little wood container from Target. I want to say it was like $3 or $5, and I thought this was super cute. So this is the one I decided to go with. And then you're going to also need some lights. So I had these twinkle lights. I'm not sure where they're from, but I know you can pick some up from Dollar Tree. Um, so I'm going to kind of do the same exact thing. I'm just going to move the leaves up on the flowers and then go ahead and cut those all off with my wire cutters. And then you're going to take that block and put it into the wood box and just start sticking your flowers in however you want them to look. And then you're going to finish it off with the Spanish moss, and then you're going to put the lights in there. So this strand of lights was pretty long, so I had to wrap it around a couple times, and then just kind of tuck the battery pack in there so it's not very noticeable. All right, this next one I'm sure you guys have seen before. This is one of my favorites. I got this idea from Bargain Bethany, and I still have this mirror hanging up in my bathroom, and I just love this one. So you're going to need 6 different framed mirrors from Dollar Tree, and then you're going to need this little, it's like a garden fence kind of, I think. And then what I'm doing is just painting everything white. I'm just using regular paint, and I'm using one of these little makeup sponges that seem to work really well for painting, and then I could just throw that thing away. And you're just going to paint all of the frames. I took the glass and everything out while I did this. And then once you get everything painted, I'm taking a mixture of my E6000 and my hot glue gun, and I'm going to start gluing the frames together. And then to get a little bit more reinforcement, I wanted to take some foam board and glue it onto the back. So once you get all of the cardboard and the glass back into the frames, I'm just taking some hot glue and some more E6000, and I'm just going to stick that foam board on the back just to make it a little bit stronger. Next, you're going to attach the little fence to the top, and I'm just using my hot glue, and then I did go back in with some E6000 just to reinforce it a little bit more, and you're just going to attach that to the top. And then I'm just going to go in and clean up the mirrors. They got fingerprints and everything on them, so I'm just going to go in and clean those up a little bit. Next, I'm going to make this little floral wreath, and I got everything from Dollar Tree, and I just cut all of the lilacs off of their little stems, and I'm just sticking them into the little wreath and hot gluing them in. And then I'm just going to take some not ribbon, just some string that I had. I'm not sure what this is even from, but I'm just going to take a little bit of this and tie it onto the mirror. All right, for this next one, I recently showed you guys in my hutch makeover video, but I'm going to do a couple little Rae Dunn inspired pieces, and I got this bowl from Dollar Tree. I got a coffee cup from Dollar Tree, and then the other cup I got and the little saucers were from IKEA. They were super cheap. So I'm just going to take everything outside and spray it with this flat white spray paint. And then I'm just taking a black permanent marker and I'm going to write out the words in the Rae Dunn font. So what I did was I just Googled it and looked up like how the font looked and then just tried to copy it as best as I could. All right, for this next one, this is probably my favorite one. We're going to make a little scale. So I found this little vase and these little plastic plates at Dollar Tree. The little plates came in like an 8-pack, I want to say. And then I'm going to take a couple wood dowels and just cut them down into little 1-inch pieces. So I'm going to cut those and then I'm going to take some sandpaper and kind of sand them down so that they're a little more even, because that is going to be what's holding the scale part up. So we're going to need to glue that onto the vase and the plate. So yeah, I'm just taking this little sanding block and making them a little more even. Now I'm taking that vase and I'm going to put a little hot glue on the rim, and then I'm going to put it upside down onto one of the little plates, and the plate is going to be upside down as well. That is going to be the base of the scale. And now I'm just taking the little wood dowels and I'm going to glue them onto the bottom of the vase, and then I'm going to attach the little plate on top of that as well, and that is going to be right side up, so that is going to be the actual scale piece. Next, I'm just going to take everything outside and spray paint it with this white, and while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the actual scale piece. I found this online. I just Googled it, and this lady had given a free template. I will find it and link it down below for you guys, but it is so cute, and I love how rustic it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out, and I'm going to Mod Podge it onto some foam board so that it's nice and sturdy, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out with my X-Acto knife. And then since you can kind of see the foam board on the side, I'm just taking some black paint and I'm just going to paint the side black so that it kind of matches the face, because it's kind of like looks rustic and it already had some black on the outside as well. Next, I'm taking that same black paint and I'm just going to kind of distress this thing a little bit and just kind of do a little black on the outlines and then like on the top of the scale. I think this just gives it a nice like old antique look, and I just really like how that turned out. And then once you are finished with that, you're just going to take some hot glue and glue on the face of the scale, and that is it for this one. I just love how this one turned out, and I can't believe it cost me like $2 to make. Okay, for this next one, I'm taking this little mason jar that is from Dollar Tree, and then this twine is from Dollar Tree as well. The twine came in a 3-pack. It came with 2 of that color and then a green one. It might have been like around Christmas time. I'm assuming they carry it all the time, but you are just going to take the twine and wrap it around the entire little mason jar. So this was a little bit time consuming. I obviously didn't show myself doing all of it, but I just was wrapping it around and gluing it maybe like every half an inch just so that it would stay intact. It did get a little tricky when it got towards the bottom because it wanted to just slide off. So this will take you a little bit of time, but I think it looks really good when it's done. And then once I had it all completed, I took a little bit more of the twine and I wanted to wrap it around a couple times and make a little bow for the vase. And then I'm going to take those little floral blocks that are from Dollar Tree as well. I had just some kind of odd odd size pieces that I had left over from other projects. So I just kind of stuck those in there so that I knew that the flowers wouldn't go anywhere. And then I'm taking these roses that I cut off and I'm just going to stick those in as well. Once I got them all in, I noticed that they were a little bit too long, so I had to take them all out and I just trimmed them up a little bit to make them a little bit shorter. Okay, for this last one, this is probably one of my favorites. I know I've seen this on Pinterest before and I've always wanted to do it and I just never did. So I actually had these books in the house. They're from Dollar Tree. Every time I go to Dollar Tree, I like to just grab a few books and they end up being pretty darn good books. The one that I'm tearing apart right now, I never got around to reading, but I did read the other two and they were actually really good. So what you're going to do for these is just for the soft cover books, you're just going to remove the front and the back and just kind of, try to keep it intact, like keep all the pages together. And then for the hardcover book, you're just going to go ahead and take off the outer cover of it and then just leave it how it is. And now I'm just taking my white acrylic paint and I'm just going to paint the hardcover book. And then you got to make sure on these, like if you open the book, there's a little bit of orange showing on the inside. So you want to make sure you get like all of the orange covered. You don't want any of that showing. And then for the soft books, you're just going to color or paint right on top of the pages. And you're just going to paint the pages and then the spine. And you probably don't need to paint the bottom, but I did just so that, I don't know, just so you couldn't see anything on it. So I just wanted to have it all white. And then once those are all dry, you're going to get a black permanent marker and you're going to write on the books. So you could put Home Sweet Home, you could put Thankful, Grateful, Blessed, you could put, there's so many different variations. If you just look up on Pinterest, there's so many ideas on there. I thought the Home Sweet Home would be cute. Originally, I was going to put these in my bedroom, but right now I have them in my living room. So just figure out whatever writing you want on there. And I'm kind of going with kind of like the same Rae Dunn font. Just trying to do that. And then you want to kind of make sure that they're going to line up together when you stack your books. So once you get done writing what you want on there, I'm going to go ahead and glue them to each other. I'm not using a whole lot of glue just in case I want to take them apart one day. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the corners just so that they'll stay in place. Next, I'm taking some of this twine that I have. This is really, really thick twine. I'm not sure if this is from Dollar Tree or not, but I just thought the thicker would look a little bit better. So I'm just going to wrap this around twice and then flip it over and then wrap it around twice going the other direction. And then I ended up just tying it in a knot on the underneath. And then I just went and took a couple roses from my other projects that I had where it wouldn't look like they were missing, and I just cut them down and then I'm just gluing them into the twine just so it has a little bit of color to it, and I just think this one turned out so stinking cute. Alright guys, that does it for my 6 farmhouse DIYs. I hope you guys enjoyed these. These are some of my favorites. I know I say that every video, but every one I do I feel like I like more and more than the last one. So which one was your guys' favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you all have a great day, and we will see you on my next video. Bye.